What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Who's in here with me and can hear me a little bit? If you can hear me, please just let me know in the chat. Hey, P&2 Ross, I see you. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat. What's going on, Sweet Pea? Hey, Miss Gina. Hey, IPV. Baby, we've been working today. Okay, we did we did 2 lives today. We did a Patreon live, and we're live again. Okay, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Listen, I got, baby, when I say I got notes, I got notes. Do you hear what I'm saying about this episode? Okay, y'all can hear me. Good, good, good. Thank you. Whew, all right. Let's see. We got Miss Monet in the house, Gigi, Miss Gina. We got IPV. We got Sweet Pea. We got everybody in the house, y'all. All right. So we are here to get into episode or season 16, episode 13. This is chapter 1, reset. And y'all, at first I had Phaedra on the thumbnail, and I was getting to thinking she ain't really do nothing in the episode to be put on the thumbnail. So really Angela didn't either, but anyway, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Honestly, it could have just been Drew and Portia on this thumbnail, because child. Anyway, listen, all things are alleged in my opinion, honey. And we don't fall out about our opinions on these reality shows. I don't know these people. Um, and it ain't that deep for me. You know what I'm saying? All right. So before I get into the episode recap, I want to just say a couple of things. Last week I was pretty furious because when the ratings came out, I was one of the ones that kind of giggled and kikied about the ratings, because all of Phaedra fans thought that Phaedra was going to, hit them ratings real good. And it just didn't end up happening that way. I get it. It was a holiday weekend. But I don't think it was that deep that how people was trying to make it. Oh, y'all want to see the show fail. Not everybody wants to see the show fail. We critique it just like everybody else critiques the show. Um, that's what the viewers do. They critique the show, and that's what it is. Just because I critique the ratings doesn't mean that I want to see the show fail. And I think people forget that. Like, it doesn't mean I want to see the show fail. Because honestly, I have been entertained by these ladies, by these group of ladies. I have. I'm not the one that's like, oh, get rid of PORSHA, get rid of Phaedra. Do I think PORSHA's return is a tad bit of a flop? I do. But do I mean get rid of her, get rid of this, and get rid of that, and get rid of this? The only person I'm gung ho on getting rid of would definitely be Miss Brit. Okay, get rid of her ghetto ass. Okay, that I will say. Okay, but the rest of the stuff, I don't want to see the show fail. So Friday, I was in a funk because people was pissing me off. And so here we are today. We back on our grind, and we are now reviewing the show. Okay. Hey, Sweet Essence. Hey, Miss Felicia. Hey, Lysandra. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? All right, y'all ready to get into it? We about 5 minutes in. Let's get into it. Cause I gotta go finish cutting up these I gotta go finish these enchiladas, baby. My hands smell like garlic and onion. This is why it's important to wear gloves when you cook, honey, so that your fans won't smell like that. But just smell like I'm cooking, honey, cooking real good. Anyway, let's get into the episode. So we opened up the episode with Shamia packing up things and getting ready for Grenada. Now, y'all know they're going on a trip to the islands, and they are going to Grenada. Now, Grenada, there was a huge hurricane. So what the ladies are doing, what Kelly and Shamia are doing, is getting the girls together so that they can pack up some things to take to Grenada so that they can help the less fortunate there. Or not necessarily less fortunate, but people who were displaced or affected by the hurricane. Now, Kelly shows up first, of course, okay? And then Britt comes. Now, Britt brings this light box, according to Shamia and Kelly. She brings this light box that ain't got nothing but a little toilet paper in there to wipe their tails with, okay? Now, Britt then says, "Well, I was gonna bring a whole lot of things, but they didn't fit in my car. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to just, somebody is gonna bring everything to me or to you." Shamia was like, "Girl, they finna get ready to come pick up this stuff in about an hour. What are you talking about later?" "Oh, they are? Oh, well, I don't, yeah, oh, well, okay." I'm like, "Girl." Shamia, I mean, not Shamia, but Britt irks me. Britt irks me. "Well, girl, how did you guys like my event? Did you like my event? You know, the event planner, she like really just really messed up everything. And I was just really upset with her, like." Girl, the fact that you keep talking about this event planner, so Britt is asking the ladies, "Oh, how did you guys feel about my event? Did you feel like it was a good event?" And everybody was like, "Oh, we had a good time." And they was just doing the most. And right, it's like, breathe, girl, breathe. So Britt is just basically, again, she keep asking about the event. Now, one thing I do want to say is Britt said that Shamia sent the Bria said, I mean, Britt said that Shamia sent the information about bringing over the stuff to Shamia's house at the last minute. It could have been the case. Definitely very well could have been the case. But girl, still, girl, you had a lot of things that you needed to take, you needed to focus on after that event. After that event that you did not have any food for the big guest for. And from what I seen some alleged text messages that she did actually have a conversation with the people and with the event planner, and she told the event planner that basically, this is what I think. I think production set Brit up in a way. I am gonna say that, but then also to Brit, you could have had this event down to your house and you wouldn't have had all this to worry about. Okay. And the reason why I say I think production set her up is because there was a text message. I don't know if these text messages are real, but there's some alleged text messages out there that I seen on Twitter. And in the alleged text messages, it actually says like something about I can only afford to get the head table. And there were a couple of YouTubers that were at the event too. And in my opinion, she only fed the YouTubers so that the YouTubers wouldn't come back and talk about her. But it said in there that the budget does not something about, and I'm paraphrasing, but it says something about the budget does not include um the guests actually eating entrees. It only includes them eating hors d'oeuvres. And from what I heard, allegedly Kelly allegedly complained to production. Production then in turn, because from my understanding, I don't even think the ladies was eating prior to. So who I heard this from was a very close source that production had to go back there and they had to feed the people the hors d'oeuvres, is what I heard. Now again, Kelly, I mean, what's this baby name? Britt. You could have just had something down to the house. You could have went over there to Kroger's or what y'all got down there. Shoot, I don't know if you need to go around there to Publix, because Publix got all these accusations of booty grabbing and stuff and doing stuff over there. So I don't know if you need to go to Publix, but you could have went out around to Publix and got some chicken and some fruit trays and stuff. You ain't have to have them people starving like that, and you could have had this down to your house. Okay? It was no reason for you to go around here to this country club making it seem like you was big money and that you was big rich, and you didn't have to do that. That's something that you chose to do, and it got you in the position that you in now. So asking everybody else how they feel about it, now I would have felt some type of way. I would have felt some type of way if it was my event planner. Girl, you don't even know the difference between an event planner, a decorator, or a doggone caterer. They is not the same. Mm. Now, thank you so much, Mama Bees, for the floating heart. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint, Lee Ham Sandwich, CC, I see y'all. Gigi, I see everybody. What's up, y'all? So I'm over here like, girl, nice try. So then, ooh, you know, there was a lot of things that happened between you and Drew. Are you and Drew gonna be okay? Like, what's going on between you and Drew? And the thing with me, with the whole lapdog thing, I mean, Shamia, you was here for it. You know why you was here for it? And let me just say this. This is not me turning on Shamia. I have not turned on Shamia. But Shamia is becoming a tad bit annoying. I just have to state the facts. Like, Shamia is becoming a tad bit annoying to me. And Shamia being called a lapdog, girl, that's literally what you are. I mean, to me, that's what you are. And I agree, we'll get a little bit further into it. I agree with what Drew said. You running that misinformation back is most definitely lapdog behavior. So you can be mad all you want to, but that's just the truth. So anyway, so then they talk about Porsha and Shamia's relationship, and they show us a clip where we actually got an extended version, I guess, of the sit down, or not necessarily an extended version, but they put the clip in there of, oh, you know, you know, um, we cried and we felt some type of way about what we were going through. You know, we crying about our friendship. And if y'all have noticed something, Porsha Porsha is so passive aggressive that I like Porsha is passive aggressive, y'all. Do y'all notice how she skates her way out of really having real conversations? Am I the only one that noticed that? Not only did she do it with Shamia, but she also did it with Drew in this episode. She also did it with Angela. Portia does not like to have real conversations unless it has something to do with her and she's bringing it up with somebody else. Then she wants that person to be real and have a real conversation. Portia is not a real person. I'm sorry, y'all. Portia is the type of person who is very super passive aggressive. She's very condescending as well. And she does a lot of not addressing things head on. Am I the only one that feels that way about Portia? And this has been Portia's MO forever. You would think that after you've been off of the show this long, you would have been able to grow. You talking about growth, but it be irritating me. You get up and leave every conversation, but you didn't have no problem in that first episode at Shamia's birthday party, cussing cussing Drew out, talking about you a low down dirty bitch. That's what you said. Now, when somebody meets you with the semi energy that you give everybody else, then you want to run away from the table. No, girl, bring your ass back here and let's talk about it. She absolutely turns into, are you gonna let me speak? Are you gonna be quiet? Are you gonna, girl, you wasn't doing that in the first place. Drew been trying to talk to you, and you be talking about, I was mad. I was mad. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. Anyway, let me keep moving. I'm jumping ahead. Okay, so, well, now we're about to talk about it. So Portia and Drew have this sit down, right? And in my opinion, Drew gave Portia exactly what Portia has been giving Drew all season. Portia has been giving Drew her to kiss all season long. And now when we get ready to have this conversation, you feel some type of way about Drew being condescending. Was Drew condescending in that episode or in that sit down? Absolutely, she was. But it's no different from Portia being condescending, being passive aggressive, and not actually hearing people out. Portia only wants to hear her side of the situation, and that be it. That's it. So anyway, they sit down and they have this conversation. And I actually put this on. I put this on Twitter. I said Portia got from Drew exactly what she's been giving to Drew. Yeah, you got it back, and you deserved it back. Now, they're sitting down having this conversation about, of course, about filming with Dennis, and Portia then shrugs her shoulder when Drew brings up her filming with Ralph as a get back. And this is what I want. Also, I want people to stop doing. Please stop pretending like Shamia did not go. She said she talked about her divorce with Simon cease and desist. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what everybody has been saying that. And I'm not saying Portia got a problem with showing her real life. Portia has a problem with having conversations with people when she f's up the thing. She don't ever want to take any accountability. Name one time this season that Portia has taken accountability for anything that she has done. She finds a way to skate out of everything. And that's exactly what Phaedra is going to get on here and do as well. Skate out of everything because she does not want to take accountability. I'm sure Portia was going to show her real life. Remember, she did a video talking about, they said Portia Williams is coming back. No, that's a lie. But Portia Gubadia will be back. That was literally a week before they started filming. That cease and desist, I think we all knew that cease and desist was going to keep her from, or keep the whole situation with Simon out, that whole storyline out. But girl, you, in my opinion, you've been had it out with Drew this first episode for sitting down with Dennis. And also, I want to say this, you knew god darn well that Drew and Dennis was not messing around. Dennis told you sitting there when you confronted him about that. He told you, you still, after that, ran around telling people that Drew and Dennis had some type of thing. Well, if you and Dennis are dating, it's fine. I don't care. Yes, you do. Or else you wouldn't have been mad, girl. Boy, y'all, I don't know. I could see straight through Portia. Portia is full of bull pucky. Okay. She is full of bullpucky. Another thing I want them to stop doing, the whole Shamia and Portia meeting with Ralph. Stop saying, oh, well, it was only because Shamia had already had a meeting with Ralph. Because which one is it? I thought Shamia ran into Ralph, right? I thought Shamia ran into Ralph at the restaurant. But then it turns into, oh, we scheduled this sit down. And then it turns into, oh, I invited Portia so Portia can get her lick back. Girl, that's what you was doing the whole time with your messy self. And production may have made you do it, but you didn't have a problem doing it. You messy, Shamia. You messy, Shamia. I wish y'all could see how I'm pointing at my phone. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. So Portia then goes and say, well, you know, there's a rumor about you dating Black. So which one is she doing, Portia? Which one is she doing? Is she dating Dennis and you mad at her for dating Dennis and filming and working with Dennis? Or is you really mad at her for, what is you mad at her for? Just like you telling her, don't run with rumors. You shouldn't run with rumors. Girl, you do it all the time. What are you talking about? Everything Portia wants people to stop doing, she be doing too. Now, I do want to make something clear because I saw this online. The Black that they are talking about is not Candy's baby daddy or Riley's dad. The Black that they are talking about is the guy who owns the vape company called Black. So then Drew turns around and says, well, aren't you dating Future? Portia, no, I'm not dating him. I didn't even know him. And then you lying, Portia. I know you lying. I know you lying saying you do not know Future. Portia is lying, bro. Portia is lying. Are we supposed to sit up here and really believe now Future got all these baby mamas and everything all over Atlanta? And I'm supposed to actually believe that Portia does not know Future? Girl, please. Girl, please. Please, girl. Please, girl. Girl, please. Please. Please, girl. I don't even know him. She said that like she don't even know nothing about Future. Girl, you is lying. I'm sorry. Portia is doing the most. Like, so I basically put in my notes that Portia cannot handle exactly what she gives out. She can't handle people giving it back to her. Portia has never been able to do that. So therefore, This conversation wasn't gonna go nowhere, no way. So of course, Portia gets up and leaves, honey. You know, she loves to get up and leave. She gets up and leave. And then Drew says, I see why Simon wants to move on. She says, Simon, and who else she say? Shamil. She says she understands Simon and Shamil. And I was like, girl, now that part I don't know about Drew, but okay. So then we get a scene from Kelly and her fine ass assistant, honey. But she is talking to her girls, letting her girls know that she is going to be missing their first day of school. Lamont is supposed to be taking the kids to school and everything like that, dropping the kids off at school. And then Lamont tells Kelly that he has had a FaceTime conversation with Kelly's ex. And Kelly is feeling some type of way because Lamont said that Kelly's ex kept making excuses as to why he couldn't do for the kids and all of that. So Kelly is basically saying, like, yo, if you please, like, you ain't gotta do it for me, but please at least do it for your girls. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Kelly on that. If you a deity, you help create these kids, you should be able to take care of them and stop trying to sit over here and miss out on everything, child. So I absolutely agree with that. I agree with that. Hey, Miss Catherine Powell. Hey, Terry, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. She tried to skip that too quick, in my opinion. Trust me, when you not supposed to be with a certain dicker, you would deny all while you creeping with the same. That's why I said I don't believe that Portia don't know no doggone future. You got me messed up if you think I believe that. I don't believe that. Okay, so then we got that scene from Kelly and all of that. Okay. So, and I also put in my notes, you are no good nigga if you is not over there helping take care of them children. And that's why you gonna have to pay all that money. That's why. Because you over there playing. And sir, I think you should do the best thing that you possibly can because I mean, okay, anyway, let me move on if I be mean. Okay, so they get to the airport, they're headed to Grenada. All right. So Phaedra throws some shade down to Angela, talking about, oh, you the oldest looking young lady I've ever seen, or the youngest, oldest looking lady I've ever seen. I was like, Phaedra, 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 Phaedra. I'm sure you just got off of the table yourself. Cool your jets. Cool your jets, girl. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Angela is a pretty woman. I just be wishing her wigs be on point all the time, but she a pretty woman. Okay? And y'all know the first year the wigs don't be hitting like the wigs should be hitting. Y'all remember Drew first season, but y'all talked about Drew long enough. She went right over there and got that deal with Go Naked Hair, and she went and got her hair fixed. By the way, when they were sitting down, Portia gonna tell the producer in her confessional, talk about that ain't no Go Naked Hair. And then she gonna say it's a mix. Girl, I can't. Anyway, so they all get to Grenada, honey. Shamia loses her luggage. And I know Shamia was trying to be funny. I know Shamia was trying to be funny. But talking about your dirty drawers and the fact that your luggage got lost and all this and all of that. Girl, what did you have in that carry-on bag? Because if y'all notice, as soon as they left the airport, Shamia was definitely pushing a carry-on bag and another bag at that. I absolutely seen it, and I went and rewinded it, and I synced it 3 times. 3 times. So you did all this talking about I ain't gonna dance because I don't want the crotch to smell like nothing. You know, I needed to smell for girl. Shamia. TMI. Well, see, so y'all know that yeah, Shamia be doing too much. She overshares. That's what she do. She overshares. Well, y'all do know that Phaedra is the one that's gonna start this beef between them fellows we talked about a couple weeks ago and Angela down to the finale. Phaedra is the one who starts this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Phaedra is the one that does that. And this is the very thing I told y'all. Her leaving Married to Medicine, sitting up calling them bullies and all kind of bitches and stuff like that. And then you come over here on this platform and you getting ready to do the very thing. You getting ready to team up with Portia. Y'all getting ready to come at Drew and Angela. I already know y'all too and what y'all getting ready to do. Yeah, no, girl. This is why I was telling y'all back then. Although two things can be true at the same time, you could absolutely say that the Married to Medicine ladies are mean girls. But so is Phaedra. Phaedra's a mean girl. Y'all sometimes take her shade as, oh, it's just shade. It's just shade. She's a mean girl too. Let's be clear. Okay, so we arrived to the resort and the resort looked good, y'all. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. The resort actually looks really, really good. Now listen, I am so tired of this room stuff in reality TV. So they play this game, of course, where they gotta figure out the room and all of this and who they rooming with. So Angela and Portia is rooming together. They loved it. Angela threw a little bit of shade, and Angela said that she don't mind rooming with Portia because Charles is back at the house. Drew and Cynthia uh room together. Kelly and Phaedra room together. Shamia and wait. Shamia and Kelly, Phaedra and Britt. Sorry, Phaedra and Britt. Portia and Angela, Drew and Cynthia. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Shamia and Kelly. Am I missing somebody? Oh, I feel like I am. Okay, Shamia and Kelly, Phaedra and Britt, Portia and Angela, Drew and Cynthia. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Anyway, Cynthia and them, they tell the resort person tells Cynthia, oh, well, you have a beautiful room, but there's a room with the guest room has twin bunks in it. And I feel like they keep doing that to Drew on purpose. I really feel like they trying to kind of push Drew a little bit. And my thing is this right here, because I'm fit to get Kelly together too. Kelly, your ass is messy. But you sat at that table and said that Drew got a problem with everybody at that table. That is not true. What would Drew's issue be with you? Y'all don't really have no issue. Because if y'all had an issue, it would have came up. What would Drew issue be with Phaedra? Phaedra just got here 2 seconds ago. What is Drew's issue with Angela? It ain't even no beefy type of issue. So Shamia is talking to, I kind of went ahead a little bit, but Shamia is talking to Kelly, and she tells Kelly, yeah, Drew tagged me on the post on social media, and she said that we got a fake beef. But when you call me a lapdog, that ain't no fake beef. Girl, are you really that pressed about somebody calling you a lapdog? That hurt your feelings. Because again, you give lapdog energy. I mean, let's call a thing a thing. And I don't dislike Shamia, but you absolutely gave lapdog energy, especially when you ran that lie back to Portia, making it seem like Drew was talking about Portia's child, and you knew that was not the case. Shamia, you add sauce on certain things. So then, yeah, Kelly was wrong for that because again, I'm trying to figure out who else did Drew got an issue with at this table. I don't see Drew have an issue with anybody else at this table besides Portia and Shamia, and her issue with Shamia not even that deep. So then, um, Drew said they talk about the whole they talk about the whole lapdog thing, right? And Drew says, Drew said, well, you know, a hit dog will holler. What did Drew say that for? What did Drew say that for? Because that ain't do nothing but make Shamia more upset. And again, I would not be upset somebody called me a lapdog to my best friend. I wouldn't be upset. And what you gonna do about it? That wouldn't be something I would be upset about. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Kelly's a follower now. She don't like PORSHA no more. Really? That's interesting. So then while they're at the table, they ask a question about well, PORSHA basically says that Shamia is upset with the lapdog comment, and then Angela says, well, to be fair, we were having an intimate conversation, and here go Phaedra. But did you think it was actually an intimate conversation when you was talking about the girl's best friend? Will you be quiet? Be quiet, Phaedra. Which ain't got nothing to do with this. Where you been? We wasn't even around. Be quiet. Exactly. Shamia was barking, making the barking noise. What she was like, roo, roo, roo. I'll be a motherfucking dog, bitch. Whatever she was saying, girl, again, I wouldn't be that upset if it didn't fit, but you're that upset, which then tells me that it fits. So then I also put in my notes that I felt like Kelly was doing a lot. Now I did skip a piece. Cynthia and Drew had a conversation about the whole PORSHA thing. They had a conversation about them dating. Cynthia talks about the new man that she's dating, a young tenderoni, and he's from Amsterdam. And then Drew talks about that she is not dating. Listen, I don't care what y'all say. I like Drew. And I want y'all to let Drew alone. Kelly. Let my girl alone. Y'all really like messing with Drew. Okay? And Shamia, let me say this to you, girl. You went round there to your old job. Let's be very clear. You were fired from over there at V93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 108.9. You were fired, ma'am. And then you went back over there and you started talking mess about Drew. You got a whole album out here. You got one single out here, ma'am. Shamia, step your game up. Y'all got that money over there. Shouldn't be no issue on why you ain't got no album out. You over here pressed about Drew, mama. Get your bag up. I get so sick of them playing with Drew. That's what they love. Every season they love playing with my girl Drew. And you know what? I don't know if producers be telling them to come in and do stuff like this, because does this not feel like a repeat of when Sonya was on the show and Sonya didn't have no real issue with Drew? Sonya didn't have no real issue with Drew. She was mad because Drew said Drew wasn't even calling. She said Drew wasn't even calling that girl a clout chaser like that. What she said was, it looks like you clout chasing, and be very clear, Candy and Kenya were both said it, because you went and you got them for that photo shoot, for that Mommy Nation photo shoot, and you didn't open it up to the rest of the group. So then when Drew asked about her, oh, Drew got to be jealous and she got to be all this and she got to be all that. But you was clout chasing, mama. You was clout chasing off of the person who got the most following on the show. You sure did. So again, girl, y'all really be trying it with Drew, and I don't like it. And I'm gonna call it out every week. Let Drew alone. I'm gonna ride for Drew. Period. Moving on. Okay, so, and this is another thing I got to say to PORSHA. Don't make me call PORSHA. This is another thing I got to say about PORSHA. PORSHA, is it not rich for you to sit at the table and say, Dennis, well, I put in my notes that Dennis told PORSHA that Drew was dating Black, or whatever, the Black dude who owned the vape shop, right? Or the vapes or whatever. So she was saying that Drew was messing with him, she gonna say in her confessionals, I don't like nobody running with rumors. Like, you shouldn't be running with that type of stuff. Girl, are you kidding me? And then you gonna sit up here and listen to your lying baby daddy tell you this man told you the truth while you were sitting down in your kitchen. The man told you the truth and said that it wasn't nothing like that with Drew. Here you go. You kept spreading the fact that Drew and that man was messing around. So then you have an issue with her bringing up the fact, the rumors about you in future. Girl, y'all, again, this is why I say Portia is becoming super annoying, because girl, how you mad at Drew for the very thing that you doing with your baby daddy? But you're supposed to be so mad. Now at the table, she claims that Portia is so passive aggressive. She was like, well, I guess I can. No, don't guess. Don't guess. If you don't want to accept my apology, girl, you don't have to. I'm not finna keep kissing your behind. Girl, I'm not Shamil. Roof, roof, get you a doggy treat. Cause Portia has honestly lost her mind, if you ask me. Like, girl, what are you talking about? She hasn't been taped for any RHOA promo work this season. No, because I think her main focus, and I think also production may have knew this too. I think her main focus was her album. Have I seen Drew do some promo? Yeah, I have seen Drew do some promo before the season came out. Phaedra did some promo. Portia did some promo. I didn't see Kenya really do well. Of course, I didn't see King. We didn't see Kenya do any promo because she was no longer on the show. I saw Kelly do a little bit of press. So I saw like a little bit of press, yeah. But I do believe that they are trying to push Drew out. I do. I believe that. Portia be using her folks to lying on Dennis and PJ. And then again, to be saying, oh, because then when she asked, Drew was like, well, I should have texted you, but Dennis did tell me that he had got your blessing. Oh, well, he lied. So you mean to tell me that you gonna believe him about a situation like that, or you believe your baby daddy about everything else, but you really was gung ho on what your baby daddy allegedly told you about Drew Sidor? Portia, get out of here. That's not even logical thinking. Please go. Again, I think Portia is definitely like she flopping for me, y'all. Because again, the very thing that you wanted from Drew, you doing as well. I don't get it. Simon put that issue in court documents about Future and several. You sure right, Mama Bees. This is why I said I do not believe. I do not believe. I do not believe that Portia does not know who Future is. I don't even know who he is. You is lying, girl. You are lying. Um, Drew hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live. I don't even pay attention to Watch What Happens Live. Maybe she haven't. Let me see. Y'all, and that's really pretty much the episode because the episode wasn't long, really. Um, yeah, Drew hasn't been on Watch What Happens Live. That is true. Um, has everybody been on yet? Angela was on. Portia has been on, of course. Phaedra has been on. Okay, wait. PORSHA, Phaedra, KELLI has been on. I think the majority of them have been on except for Drew. That's interesting. I keep looking to see if we're gonna see Drew, but I do feel like they're kind of trying to push Drew out a little bit. I do feel that way. I do feel that way. But that was really my review on this particular episode. This episode didn't have a lot in it, honestly, but it had enough. It had enough. But we had to talk about that sit down that portion Drew had. So I will say it definitely had enough. It had enough. Yeah, that's true. Everybody done been all with Drew. Shamia was there. I think Shamia was there on the first episode. KELLI, Angela, Phaedra, PORSHA, Shamia. Who was on there last night? Or they didn't have one last night. Let me see. Watch What Happens Live. Who was on there last night? Ashley and KELLI was on there last night. No, wait. That was last week. Let me see. Videos. I didn't really post no videos, so maybe they didn't have no episode last night. Word on the curve is Drew hasn't been on since 2023. Well, let me see. Let me see something real quick. Okay. So yesterday's episode, who was on here? I'm going to the website. Okay, so this one is new. Oh, you know what? The new this week's Watch What Happens Live schedule gonna come up. I don't want this week's. I want future ones just to see who gonna be on there. They used to have a schedule that they used to put out on who's gonna be on there. I think we got at least 4 or 5 more episodes because I think they filmed the reunion this week. I think Drew will be on there. One thing I do know, because I do know Drew's manager, or at least when they were filming, Drew was extremely busy. So like a lot of times when y'all will see Drew come in these scenes late, it like she had a valid reason to be late. She was really working on her music and stuff. So the only reason why I know that is because we had discussed a couple of things about Drew. So I do know Drew was extremely busy. They actually took a group trip that didn't even make the show. They actually went back to Chicago. The weekend that I had my event last year in I cannot believe there's about to be another. I cannot believe that. But the event that I had last year, they went to Chicago the next day. So June the 10th is when they went to Chicago. So that Chicago trip was Drew's, but it would have been the second time that they had been to Chicago in 2 seasons. So I'm pretty sure they cut it out for a reason. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they cut it out for a reason. My hope is that they keep Drew. Drew, I think, is easy money for the network, meaning Drew don't mind. Folks may think that Drew lie and stuff, but Drew actually really don't mind showing her real life or showing what's going on with them. She don't mind. I think Drew understands and she gets it. Drew get rid of that ghetto Brit Edie. Send her over there where she belong with them dogs over there on Love and Hip Hop. That's where she belong. Send her over there. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna get on out of here. All right. I will see you guys in the morning for the Diddy trial. We will be back in that number. Tomorrow we also have politics talk. I'm actually about to work on the show here in a moment, or producing it here in a moment. We'll have another members only live on Friday. Members in Patreon. And yep. So that's my take on this particular episode, y'all. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Keep it cute. Don't do too much. All right. And I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your evening. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.